Don't make these mistakes I made when starting my small YouTube channel. At the beginning of my journey, I would post almost unscripted, boring head-talking videos that I threw a thumbnail together within 5 seconds, and to no surprise, it got like 3 or 4 views. So here are my tips on how to get results on your small YouTube channel. Thumbnails and titles do matter. I know you've probably heard, just post your first video even if it's embarrassing. And yes, that's fine, but after a couple videos and you still don't see results, something's gotta change. And that thing should be your thumbnail and title. The first impression to your video is very important for getting people to actually click and watch your video. A little trick of mine is that even before writing some big script, the first thing I do is curate a few samples of titles and thumbnails that are popular or trending. Well, how do you know if it's a trending topic or a good thumbnail? Market research. You watch YouTube, right? Well, now, what if you studied YouTube instead of just watching? Market research is when you go through YouTube videos and you ask questions about the details. What are the more appealing thumbnails and titles? What made you click? What made you watch the first 30 seconds of it? As for titles, if you want to know if a title will do well, search it for yourself. If you see that it's not been trending or posted recently, or maybe doesn't have as many views, you can try rewording or rephrasing your title to something to make it more searchable. Thumbnail production. For the production of my thumbnails, I use the paid version of Canva. Regardless, now the free version will do you just as well. Canva has all the cutting and pasting tools you will need to edit basic thumbnails. It also has clear fonts and even some templates that you can go off of. The most important thing about your thumbnail is that it should be clear and easy to read when scrolling, and it should visually describe what the video will be talking about. So here are 4 tips you can follow for creating thumbnails, and I suggest you write these down. Clear text. Try not to use any fancy cursive fonts or text that blends into the background too much. And to reduce clutter, use a maximum of 5 to 6 words. And try to use some numbers. They seem to be more visually appealing. Make the main target clear. Use clear images. You also don't want to have things that are irrelevant and just randomly floating around your thumbnail. Try to include your face or some sort of reaction. If you're not using a face, try to add something that semi-tells a story. Something that sparks someone's curiosity and emotions. Multiple designs. Now, referring to what I said previously, go back and do the market research. It is okay to make similar thumbnails to other people's. Just try to put your own creative twist on it so you're not blatantly copying. Try to do 2 to 3 rough sketches that you then produce into a final product. Another tip is that when I'm in the Canva, I like to zoom out super small because in reality, most people won't be seeing a thumbnail that's the size of your laptop screen. They will see it on the scale of the size of their phone, so it's going to be super small. Scripting and editing. Make sure that your video is appealing to the audience either by the script or by showing what you tell. Scripting will also save you a lot of time because when you're going to look back at your analytics, you can see exactly where you need to improve. So here's my quick little guide on scripting/editing. Number 1, your hook. The first 5 to 30 seconds is the most important because what's the point of scripting a whole video if no one's going to stay to watch? You need to hook them by giving them something. Like I said, sparking that curiosity. 2, get to the point. You want to make sure that the question being asked in the thumbnail is being answered in the video, or if it's a step-by-step video like this one, you need to make sure that each step or tip is engaging to the audience. Try adding some related B-roll to break up the constant death stare at the camera. Try adding some text or subtitles. 3, give value. Make sure the content you're giving to your audience is actually valuable. It's easy to get carried away with stories and all, but make sure your audience can actually engage and take action alongside of your video, like taking notes. Which leads me to the 4th point of scripting your videos. 4, reducing side chatter. Scripting allows you to get rid of or reduce the amount of side chatter that you have in production. When I said get to the point, it really means just that. This will also save you a ton of time during the editing process. That way you don't watch a whole 5 minutes of your video just to delete it. watch your analytics. And it's true, you don't have to be perfect at first. You do just need to post some videos. If you strategically post videos, you can then look at your analytics to study what you can improve or what you can take away from. One thing to look at is watch time. Are people dropping off in the first 30 seconds? If so, what can you do in the scripting and editing process to make it more engaging? If you see you aren't even getting clicks or views on your video, then maybe it's time to change the thumbnail, title, or even both, which is why I suggested having a few options so that within the first 24 to 48 hours of your video, you can change them. The ups and downs. When your videos do start gaining traction, you will start to see comments. Maybe 1 out of 30 comments will be a negative one. Maybe the audience did really get bored at that section, or maybe you do chatter on a little bit too much here. Take the suggestions, but not personally. On the flip side, there are so many more people who are on your side and who are rooting you for starting your small YouTube channel. Cherish that small community, even if it's just a few people. As a small YouTuber myself, I'm still learning, and I will continue to make mistakes. So as a long-term goal, have patience with yourself and really trust the process of creating your YouTube channel. Plant the seeds now so they can later grow into trees. If you want to know just how much YouTube has changed my life, go check out this video.